In the quiet of the night,
ladies,
I hear a whisper in the white,
gentlemen,
a fragile
welcome
tone that pulls
to the
me
guitar
gently through
angle.
the fire. Every chord remembers you.
Every chord remembers you.
Every note becomes a name.
Every note becomes your name.
I'm reaching through the frequencies, but nothing sounds the same. I feel the
Baby, do you feel it?
like a truth
Do you feel the athleticism, the electric guitar, the amp on fire, the crowd going wild? Do you feel it? Are you ready? Or are you just living life like everybody else, going through life not knowing what to do? What's gonna happen? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready, if you feel the athleticism in your heart, the electric guitar, buckle up, because we are about to begin the most athletic guitar string ever. And now, start the clock.
of Sorenzo. Of Sorenzo. Sorenzo, I'm lost inside your overflow. I'm standing, but I'm drifting in the echoes. Echoes of Sorenzo. Plug in the power, feel the voltage rise. Neon lightning, sparks in my eyes. Fingers on the fretboard, volume high. I'm the glitch in the system you cannot find. Crowds buzzing like a circuit overload. One strum and the whole damn room explodes. Heads are buzzing from the head banging, mosh pit flows. But I'm just getting started. Watch me flow. Ooh baby, baby. Ooh baby, baby. Ooh baby, baby. Ooh baby, baby. Electric in my veins. Supercharged
Baby. Shall we?
Screw classical players, let them fade. 'Cause I said today's on fire.
Oh my! Ladies, gentlemen, happy Friday. Woo, baby. How are we doing, ladies and gents? How are we doing is the question. Happy Friday, everybody. Woo. And I gotta tell you something. We've got an athletic stream for you today. That's right. Do you want to know why? Because today on this stream,
Take it deeper. Turn it up. Turn it up.
All right, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Come on. Give me something. There we go. Finally. Finally. We got the microphone working. Already off to a great start. So what I was saying is, Zuhair says, Sorenzo, you sly weasel. I hear you're fine. Okay, good to know. What's happening? How are you? So, if the microphone didn't work, this was the plan that I was trying to explain while I was completely muted. Okay. The plan is to refret this guitar athletically, fantastically. And like this guitar is a cheap guitar that I bought for $100 US. It's a Chinese-made artist guitar. I bought it secondhand. And ultimate goal here is to make this guitar a monster. And we're gonna refret this guitar today. And, you know, if you guys got any questions, you can ask me about anything. Guitar playing, music theory, this is a hangout and a chill time. That's what I'm talking about here. So anyways, Zuhair, how the heck are you? How are things in the beautiful city of New York? How are things in New York? You gotta tell me. Let's get the party started. So, by the way, one thing before we start, I am not a guitar tech. I'm not a master luthier, right? I'm a guitar player. I'm a guitar guy. But I am a firm believer that you should be able to do first aid on your electric guitar. Acoustic guitar, if you got it, just burn it, okay? Just throw it in the fireplace. It'll be good. It'll heat you up for winter. That's great, okay? But that was a joke. But that might have been a little harsh, but that's okay. But I'm a firm believer that as a guitar player, even as a hobbyist, you should be able to do basic band-aid on your electric guitar. And then if, you know, the guitar is really messed up, you need to go to the ER, then you go to the ER. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe that I am referring to. So, ideally, you know, we want to be able to do these kind of things. Let's get started. I'm just going to do one last check with connection and sound. We look like we're doing good. And we're doing good. All right, let's get started. Now, you guys might have noticed this and that. This is just a soldering iron that I'm going to use to remove the frets. I'll tell you why I'm using it that way in a second. This is just a fan, like an AC unit, a portable AC unit. And the reason I'm using it is because when we go on to remove the frets using the soldering iron, there is going to be some fumes going out, and inhaling it is unhealthy. It's not good for you. So we're going to turn it on, and you guys are going to hear a lovely fan sound, which is great. And then take it from there. Okay, so the first step in changing the frets on a guitar, or at least pulling it out, which is what we're trying to achieve today, is to remove the strings, remove the nut, level the neck, okay? So let us get started. I'm just going to loosen up these little things, these little strings. You know how it goes with headless guitars. I was about to say fretless guitars. No, headless guitars. Just do these. Funny enough, I gotta tell you guys, this artist brand, it's an affordable, you know, Chinese-made brand of a guitar. I bought this again for $100 US, right? So really affordable. But $100 US second-hand, by the way. Right? But despite it being an affordable guitar brand, it's not that bad at all. I think in this guitar, the body shape is the winner. The body is so comfortable and so light. Like, if your body's tired, or if you want to travel somewhere, you want something light and easy, like, these kind of guitars are the go-to, man. Like, I can see why now somebody like Ola Strandberg would put like 10 years of R&D behind this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Zuhair asks, is that a Floyd Rose bridge? Let me bring your chat on. No, Zuhair, it's not a Floyd Rose bridge. It's a headless guitar bridge. So these guitars don't have any heads, right? And so the tuning actually happens down at the bottom. What you do is that you connect the strings with Allen keys. You screw the strings to the nut, whatever this it's not a nut, whatever this thing is called, the headpiece. You screw the strings there with Allen key screws, and then you put the ball of the string down there, and then you adjust these, and it basically pulls the string and helps you tune it. So these are like really basic, your average headless guitar tuners. It's not a Floyd. Though there are, there are headless electric guitars that have Floyds. In fact, one of Strandberg's new models, Jesus Christ, this thing is not going to come out, is it? One of Strandberg's new models, the N2.6 and 2.7s, come with Floyd Roses. So it's not like that headless guitars can't have Floyds. I'm trying to save as much string as I possibly can, because I can just put the strings back on. These are basically new. Alright, let's see if we can just take that string out. I don't want to cut the string. The easiest thing to do was to cut it. Let me see if I can pull it out one more time before Can I pull it out? Are you going to come out? Or no? That's a no. That's fine. Alright, let's use our Allen keys. So basically, guys, the headstock here, these are all Allen key screws. See 2 rows there in silver? They're basically screws. Alright, what's the size here? Yeah. Zuhair says, interesting. Never use that. Does it hold a tune better? It holds tune no different. Like, it's not like, just like any other guitar, if you set it up right, if you do the right things, lubricate the nut and the bridge and all that, it holds the tuning. You know what I mean? So yeah. Essentially what I'm doing right now is to loosen up the screws and then pull the string out. There we go. And now this should allow me to remove the ball, and then I'm going to put it back in there, if I can, and redo the screws so I don't lose my string. So I'm just going to put the string back in there, redo the screws. The thing with these screws is, because with this kind of a headstock design, right, what you have to notice is that the screw itself is holding your string down. Like imagine this is your string and this is the screw. The screw itself is holding the string down. So if you actually like screw the string too hard, like tighten your string too hard, tighten your screw too hard. I'll say it again. If you tighten your screw too hard, it's actually gonna cut through your string. That's one of the flaws of this design. I don't know if it's a flaw or not, but you get the idea, right? You got to make sure that you tighten that screw just the right amount. Usually when screwing things in guitar, you don't want to, you don't want to overdo anything, obviously. You don't want to wrestle with anything. But if you're a type that wrestles with things occasionally, you will learn it the hard way. You've definitely learned it the hard way. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a matter of like setting it up properly, and then it'll hold the tune for you, you know? Unless like the guitar is defective or anything of that nature, which in that case, that's a completely different story, you know what I mean? Okay, so we just got the string balls out. I'm just gonna tighten my tuning pegs just a little. It won't matter, like I just like to do it, because the thing is, refretting a guitar that has a bolt-on neck is a lot easier, because you can literally just unscrew the neck, take the neck out, put the body away, and you got something this little, like just a neck to work with. Whereas if it's like a Les Paul style guitar, right back there, which we will be refretting very soon actually. I've ordered a nut, which I'm waiting for it to arrive. Once that arrives, I'm going to be refretting that guitar too. But if it's like a Les Paul style guitar or a PRS style guitar where the neck is a set neck, so the neck is glued to the body, not screwed to the body, what happens is that then you can't remove the neck from the body, so you have to then refret with the body attached, and that is just a little bit more difficult. It's not like difficult, I guess, Well, you'll see it when we do it. That's the idea. Okay, let me remove the nut compartment completely. So here's the thing with these ones, right? With the headstocks, with the headless designs. Let me pick up let me get this. I'll show you what I mean. So you have, here we go. You have these two rows of screw, right? And they hold your strings in place. Your string goes through a hole, the screw comes down, you're good. There is another set of black screws that you guys can't see that hold this black plastic metal, whatever this is, compartment. It's metal. Sorry, it's not plastic. It wouldn't hold the thing anyways, if it was a plastic thing. But it holds this headstock piece to the neck. And so what I'm trying to do is to remove it essentially, right? So I'm just gonna get a screwdriver, find the right size, and do it. And every piece of equipment I'm using, you probably can buy it from Home Depot. That's the thing. So, I don't know all the answers, so I don't know what size it is. Is that like a Philips one? Or is it smaller? Alright, let's get the Philips out. This is Philips 1. Let's see. Damn. It is Philips 1. Isn't that nice? Makes our job easier. We like it. So here we go. Just removing this thing. And in a second, I'll probably bring out my Cuban cigar ashtray so that I can put all these screws and everything else in it. So, for those who don't know, I stopped drinking in 2019. And the thing is, when you stop drinking and there's no bourbon or whiskey around, you don't smoke a cigar anymore. At least for me, that was the case. So that Cuban cigar ashtray is now being used to hold screws and guitar parts when I'm working on a guitar. So yeah. Hey guys, tell me, is the background music too loud or too little? Do you want it more? Do you want it less? Let me know. It's a hangout. You get to ask questions. You get to ask a different song. You get to ask for things, which is always nice in a conversation. All right, well, there we go. The screws are out, and now you can see this metal compartment is completely out, and it's holding my strings there so I can reuse my strings. Trade Center. What's happening? Trade Center asks, is perfecto? You're fretting everything yourself? Was the cigar perfecto? Is that the specs of the cigar that you're asking me? Because I've had perfectos, but I usually go for something a little smaller when I used to do Cuban cigars with like a shot of whiskey. Am I fretting everything yourself? Yeah. Isn't that nice? And again, I'm not a guitar tech. I'm a guitar guy. I play and I teach. But the beauty of it is that even as a person who's just a guitar person, right? It'll be nice to be able to do first aid on your electric guitar. And then if the injury is really bad, you take it to the ER, which is like a luthier or a guitar tech. Trade Center says, hi, brother. My man. Good seeing you. Okie dokes. So here we are. We've removed that nut compartment. You guys can see inside of it if you want to see how it looks like on a headless guitar. This is not uncommon. Now, before I go to the next step, though, there's one flaw design. There's one flaw of design here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. So have a look. See these two big holes here? One big hole at the top, one big hole at the bottom. See these two big holes? These are not screw slots. So the four little ones that you see closer to the nut, those are screw slots that, I literally just got the screws out of, right? What I just did. These two big holes up here are just two holes that this, sort of metal tip goes into it. And the flaw here is that because you're only screwing the nut from the headstock compartment from the bottom, just from there, when there's tension on it, this part that doesn't get screwed comes up a little. So that's actually a flaw in a lot of the cheap headless guitars. It does the job, like it holds it together, I guess, right? But the thing is, over time, these little tips play in those holes, and those holes become bigger and bigger. So at some point, you're going to have to refill them, make them tighter or smaller or whatever. That's like a design flaw. But like usually with stuff that are this cheap, $100 US secondhand, $150 US, you know what I mean? You know, you with these stuff, sometimes you get what you pay for, I guess. Zuhair says, just found out the headstock piece is called a locking nut for headless guitar. It is, yeah. No, it's not a locking nut. Or is it a locking nut? I don't think so. I might be wrong. Because this one, for example, has its own nut. Locking nut is like for Floyd's. But I could be wrong. Ryu, good morning, bro. Good morning, brother. How are ya? Happy Friday. How you doing? Having a good Friday? All right, let's do this. So, we got this out, which is great. The next step for us is to now take the neck out of the body, which is nice and easy for a, bolt-on neck. Now, guys, let me bring my cigar ashtray to put these screws there. Otherwise, I know I'm gonna lose them. And I'm working from my workroom at home. This is not a garage or a workshop, so I'm gonna take as much space as I can. Like I'm gonna clean everything up as I go, so I can have enough space. Just give me a second. Let me bring that ashtray. There we go. The infamous ashtray that I have not used in 6 years, 7 years. And I'm just going to put my stuff in there because I know I'm going to lose them. And like I said, that's the thing with doing everything from home, right? Not having it, again, I'm not a guitar tech, so I don't have a workshop, but I like to take care of my guitars. Here we go. And I'm going to put this, Zuhair calls it a locking nut. So I'm going to take your word for it, but I'm skeptical still. Can somebody confirm the name, this headpiece? We need consensus on this. All right, let me put this away. And now let us remove the guitar neck. For those of you who joined on one of the earlier streams that we did, maybe it was episode 50, or somewhere around there, we actually fixed the guitar neck angle in this guitar by putting a shim in there and all that jazz. So you might remember this guitar from that stream. Yeah. Zuhair says, Amazing has item for sale. Amazing has them for amazing. Amazon. All right, there we go. Amazon. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Amazon has them for sale. So going off of that, fair enough. Okay. Oh, okay. You might be right then. Guitar heaven on earth. That will be one hell of a place. I like Guitar heaven on earth. It's called a guitar store. A good guitar store. Good to see you, man. How are you? Guitar heaven on earth says, yeah, I think it's locking nut. Okay, well, I get stood corrected. Thanks for the confirmation, Heaven and Zuhair. Appreciate y'all. So yeah, now all I'm doing is just to remove the neck. And thank God for the ashtray. You know the beauty of this is? This whole, like, one of the most beautiful things about electric guitar is that you can literally do your own guitar care at home. A lot of times. It's just a matter of learning how to do it. And there are courses out there. There are lots of YouTube videos out there. This stream, you can ask me questions. And again, I'm not a guitar tech. I'm not a master luthier or anything. But if I know the answer to it, I can answer it for you. Trade Center asks, how long do you think it can take to refret and polish the whole neck for a newbie? Look, polishing is pretty quick. Polishing is a rather really quick process. Like, I've polished my frets for so long now. It's really easy, and there's so many different tools for it. Like, you can buy like cheap fret erasers from Amazon, and that takes 10 minutes to do. So that's really quick. And it comes with like protections and all that. I'll show it to you in a second if you want. Like what I use at home. Refret is a little harder, and I'm still new to this realm myself too. The thing is, if you're not a guitar tech, you don't have that many guitars around. Like, so I have, I don't know, 9, 10 guitars at home. So even for somebody like me, if the guitar doesn't need to work on it, then you don't work on it, right? Like, how often do you change frets? To answer your question, for a newbie, it takes a few hours to do it properly. But then you speed up a little bit. Yeah. Trade Center says makes sense. Yeah. But it's like everything else, man, right? If you enjoy doing it, you'll find a way to do it like I do. Like, buy tools from Home Depot or Bunnings or whatever. Have like my home AC unit to whatever. Put towel on my work desk so that when I start working on Monday, you know what I mean? Like, there's not like wood pieces and grains and everything else around. Like, this is like a normal bath towel. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. You figure it out if you like it. If you enjoy these stuff, like, actually. All right, anyways. So here we go. That's the body of the guitar. That's the shim we put in this guitar on our last stream. Y'all remember? On our last stream when we did some guitar surgery. So, anywho, let's put this back where it was. And I'm gonna put the guitar body away. Trade Center says, I enjoy. Yes. Well, hell yeah, dude. You're gonna have a great time. You should do it. You should do it. Just watch some videos, try something out. You can buy secondhand. This is what the first thing I did. I bought a secondhand, really El Cheapo secondhand guitar neck off of Facebook Markets. It's a lot cheaper if you buy secondhand from like normal people as opposed to like trying to buy it online. Just buy like a really cheap guitar neck secondhand. Or funny thing is, there are secondhand guitars that are cheaper than secondhand necks. Like, buy a secondhand destroyed guitar for $50 and just take the neck out and then start working it, and that's your first step. Do you know what I mean? But there's like, yeah. And if you're into it, I know there are some luthiers that run workshops. That's how I learned first time. I read a lot of stuff online, and I'm like, you know what? I want to, get some expert tips on it and all that jazz. And so that's how I first learned it. All right. So remove the locking nut. Now we know the name. And then remove the neck. Now let's remove the actual nut from the guitar, because the thing is, when you want to do fret work, you're going to have to level the frets and everything else, and this thing is going to be an interruption. Now, we got another challenge with this guitar too, because this guitar has a 0 fret design. As you guys can see, that's the 0 fret. So we got a little bit of a curveball there when it comes to leveling the frets too, but we'll get to it as we get to it, right? Now, I'm going to bring my guitar fret hammer, and I'm gonna get a screwdriver, and all I'm gonna do is to go tap, 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 essentially, right? So here we go, like that, and I'm gonna gently tap it. So this is not like a hard hit, it's just the right. Let's just hope that thing didn't melt into the melt into the guitar neck. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a rough time. Oops. You gotta be kidding me! It chipped the guitar. All right, I gotta glue it back now. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Like, that's the thing with cheap stuff, man. All right, give me a second. There we go. And I need to hold this maybe here. There we go. And you guys notice I didn't even hit it hard. That's how the cheap stuff gets you crazy. I'm just have to glue that piece, and that's okay. Just cut. There we go. Finally, after getting ruined the guitar, we finally managed to remove it, and that's okay. I got this piece, and I got the other piece there. I'll glue it after. That's not a big deal. All right, let's put this here. Let's not lose it. And here we go. So we'll take care of that later. So here we go. We got that out of the way. Now let us make this neck even, right? So Trade Center says it's not a big deal, and that's why I bought this guitar for. Don't worry about it. Row Black Key Music says, didn't know I needed this as a live stream. To be honest with you, dude, this is an excuse for us to just hang out, right? And I'd like to refret things. And again, this is like, I don't mind like having to re-glue this bit at all. This is like a guitar that I bought secondhand for $100 US. And you know what? Great. I get to now properly learn to glue things too. So it's all good. I'm not doing it for a client. Okay, so I've removed the neck, removed the nut with a lot of trouble. God, I mean, like, I wholeheartedly hate this neck now. But now the next step for us is to make the neck even, because as you guys know, there's truss rods. See the truss rod there, right? And that helps to, you know, bow the guitar neck, or give it a back bow. Essentially helps to, you know, sort the relief on the guitar neck out. But before you do this, you want to actually flatten, before you remove the frets or anything else, you just want to flatten that guitar neck. Funny enough, I'll give you guys a fun fact. If you guys know how there's like little slots that your frets go into, if your fret is too big for the slot, it's going to permanently create a back bow on your guitar neck. Right? That's the relationship, because essentially it pushes the top of the fretboard out and away because it's bigger. You're squeezing it in. It creates a back bow on the guitar neck. And so that's why it's important to flatten everything out. And then as you're putting the frets in, you kind of get an idea of like how much you're squeezing in. If you need to squeeze the tags of the frets, the root, and then, or not. Essentially, right? So the tool that I'm going to use to measure the straightness of my guitar neck is what we call a straight edge. A straight edge is just like a straight tool. It tells you how straight something is. And you got the sort of like a flat surface, but you also got the edged surface where the frets go into. And you guys can see it comes with like the scale length, essentially, right? So 24/7/5, like a Gibson Les Paul scale length. Or you have the 25.5, like any Strat, Super Strat, 25.5 inch in scale, right? I don't know what the scale length for this is, but I'm sure we can figure it out. Row Black Key Music says, I have refret before and after. But I have refret before and damn. There we go. Guitar Heaven on Earth says, Mr. Sorenzo, what kind of music do you play? Mostly metal. Metal and rock is what I usually play. Yeah. That's been the case for a very long time now. To be honest with you, I like good music. You know, when somebody asks me what kind of music do you like, I say, I like good music. Like, you see me sometimes, like, vibing to Julian Lage and jazz. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen once in a while. All right, let's measure this. Now, here's the thing with this. Have a look. This is, what is this? funny how even the 24/7.5 is long for this. There we go, 25.5. So you can see how the slots go really well on top of the frets. Now what I want to do is to look at the bottom of the straight edge and my fretboard and see if light is coming in or not. And if the light is coming in from the middle, it means that my neck still has a bit of a bow. If it's coming from the side, it means that the neck is got a bit of a back bow. If it's inconsistent, it means my neck is not flat. So I can see a bit of light coming in from the belly, and what this tells me is that my fretboard is curved this way and the straight edge sits on top. So from the middle, there's some light coming in, but not that much. And that kind of makes sense in a way because I like my guitars to have 0.006 inches in relief, so not much, right? Trade Center says, thanks for all the tips. We'll try myself one day. Do it, man. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. Like, I mean, I just did. I had no idea that, like, this is the first time this is happening. But now I got to learn how to glue it. So it's all good. Trade Center says, by the way, I like your videos. Keep the rock coming. Firm handshakes, man. Appreciate you. See you around, Mr. Sorenzo. See you around, Trades. Have a great Friday. Kick ass on a Friday is what I say. Good seeing you. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to get an Allen key, and then let's see if we can, you know, tighten our truss rod a little bit to remove that bow. There we go. I'm just going to use a normal Allen key. I'm going to put it there. And with the truss rods, just got to keep in mind that try not to wrestle with it. Now, there are times like this that I don't even wrestle with the nut and the part of the headstock gets chipped off, but you don't want to wrestle. Now, the rule is very simple. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. And let's see. That's the little. There we go. Measure again. By the way, for those who don't know, your truss rod is most active between fret 5 and 12, right? So if you get between fret 5 and 12 right, you're in a good spot. I think this is good. I think we're good. I think whatever more is going around, I might have a bit of a back bow even. Yeah, okay. Like I was in a really good spot. But yeah, what I'm saying is that but between frets 5 and 12 is when your truss rod the most active. So we have to go left. Here we go. Just a little, and there we go. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, that's a lot better. I think we're good. The rest, and there's a little inconsistencies here and there, is because this neck is not fully flat, right? You know, it's never going to be perfect. There's going to be some level of tolerance that you gotta keep in mind. That, you know, that's gonna be there in everything. But yeah, this is good. So the neck is now nice and flat. We like that. I like to really keep my fret edge safe because this is the reference. This has to be perfect and straight. And so I always immediately put it back, and then I put it somewhere where there's nothing that puts pressure on it or around it. It has to be sitting for free somewhere, you know, without any interruptions, anything against it, because it's a measurement tool. So this, my guitar string gouge, I have the same behavior towards it, but then Allen keys, I just throw it in the bag. All right, so here we go. Now this is ready to for us to start working on it. The thing is, though, two things. Number one, you guys can see this two sides of the neck are holding the guitar neck nice and flat, so I don't need to put anything under. So I don't need a. I don't need to You know what I mean? Like, this is already nice and comfortable. Does the job. Like, you don't, it's already secure. It doesn't rock or anything. Right? That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is that before you remove the frets, what you want to do is that you want to condition the neck a little. And what it does, it hydrates your guitar neck, right? And that hydration then makes sure that any potential impact on the wood of the guitar neck as you're using the soldering iron to help removing the frets is reduced. It sort of reduces the risk of having anything happening to your neck. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to bring my fretboard neck conditioner, and before I apply it, I'm going to turn my soldering iron on, and while it's heating up, I'll apply the conditioner. Just give me a second. I do not know where I put it. I had it. My lord, where did I put that? I would wonder. Found it. Give me a second. Thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's get the soldering iron in the game. Let us plug it in. All right. Can you guys? Yeah, it's all good. Okay, cool. Now let's turn it on. And we heat it up like this. All right, this is heating up now. Now what I am going to do, that's my solder wire. What I am going to do is to just condition my guitar neck a little bit and then wipe it off. And just what it does, it just helps to remove any, are we even on, man? Are we? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So it's just, you know, moisturizes the neck a little bit, like a skin moisturizer with SFP 50 that helps you not to have to deal with sunlight. Guitar Heaven says, have you tried a D'Addario fret polish paper? I think it's amazing for beginners. I have not tried it, to be fully honest with you. I've tried some Music Nomad products, and I've tried fret erasers. But I've never tried the D'Addario polish. I know what it is. Essentially, you just bring it out as like a cloth thingy, and then you rub it, and you're good. It's nice and comfy and convenient, and people love it. Some people online love it. I just haven't personally used it, so I don't know. Yeah. This is what I use now that you guys are asking while the neck is getting conditioned. Fret eraser. The brand is Baroque. And I just bought it from Amazon, like, brainlessly to try it out. And it was pretty good. It did the job. And it comes with, like, fretboard protectors, which is always a good thing. That's what I use right now on my 910 guitars, and it works really well, and it's pretty quick. So let's just spread this over. Now, guys, in a second, I am going to apologize from you guys for the loud sound of the fan, because what happens is that now that I've conditioned the neck, right? And the fretboard, you know, the under the frets, there's a little bit of a super glue. As I heat up my soldering iron and trying to remove the frets, there's going to be some fumes coming up. And inhaling those fumes is a really bad idea. So I'm going to turn on this fan for it to take the fume away from my nose. But the downside is that you guys are going to hear the sound of the fan. Alright, where are we? Okay, can we heat up a little faster, please? That'll be great. And so now there's two ways people do this that I know of. The first way is you don't even use a soldering wire. You just put the soldering iron there, and what the soldering iron does, it doesn't like soften the metal of the fret. What it does, it takes the moisture out of the wood grain around it, and then the wood contracts, so it makes the hole a little bigger for you to pull those frets out. Now, what some people like to do, and what I've done once before, in all honesty, is that people like to put some solder actually on those on the frets. And the reason for that is that it helps keeping the heat for a little longer. So it just makes the removal of the frets a little easier. Not everybody's a fan of that. Some people do it the other way. Some people just heat up and go. But that's how I like to do it. I'll do it both ways. I'll do it with, how about I do half the neck using this, and the other half using that, and I'll tell you guys exactly what the experience is. Now, to remove the frets, we're going to use a fret pulling device. Which I have here somewhere. There we go. That's the fret puller. There you go. Essentially, you put this flat side right on the fretboard, and then you don't want to pull the fret up. You just want to put it in and just wiggle your way a little through. Okay, I think my soldering iron is almost ready. I think it's almost ready. Yeah, I think we're good. Guitar Heaven says it's amazing to remove fret oxidation. I've been using it for a while. It does magic on your guitar. It not only makes the guitar look nice and shiny, like brand new, but it just makes a massive difference in the sound, doesn't it? Some people say, oh, it doesn't, all that. I swear to God, it does. You remove that oxidation, the bends are smoother, the guitar sounds glassy and nice. It's such an important thing. It's such an easy thing to do too, you know? But yeah. All right, okie dokes. Let's do this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out some soldering wire right now. First things first, before you use the soldering iron, always tin the tip. So essentially just rub the wire on, melt a little bit of solder on the tip just to clean it up before you use it. Yeah. Heaven says, yeah, it makes it feel like brand new. It really does. It really, really does. Okay, let me just cut this a little bit. Alright, that's like too much. I don't need that much. I'm just gonna there we go. And then put this back where it was. Just so that we're not having things we don't need right now on the table. We're working from home. There's no workshop. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is put this cutter back. We'll put this back. And this can stay there for now. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is this. Bring this baby in. It's nice and hot. And now I'm going to tin this a little. So I'm just gonna rub this a little. I'll move it around so you guys can see it. See the fume? That's the bad part. So let me turn this on. Apologies for the noise if you hear it. Is the noise bad? Can somebody tell me? It's the first time I'm turning on a fan in front of my stream. You guys tell me if the sound is bad. Now, essentially, all I'm doing is just making sure that my soldering iron tip is not touching the fretboard. And I'm just gonna apply some solder there. Just like that. And just heat up this baby. That is all. Yeah. So here we go. If the solder itself goes on the fretboard neck, it's not that big of a deal because you're going to be sanding that anyways, but ideally you don't want to have your iron touching it. You guys see how much fume it produces? It's really unhealthy. Did somebody say it has like cyanide or something in it? Some ridiculous dangerous gas. Yeah. My lord. There we go. Isn't this relaxing, though? I know you guys might be hearing a loud fan sound, but... but this is nice. And honestly, like, I can do this, like, late at night when I'm trying to chill after a long day to just keep my mind off things and have a good time. That's the thing to do, honestly. Either that or actually playing the guitar. If you are just joining the stream, happy Friday. I hope you're well. You guys can ask me any questions, and if I know the answer, I'll tell you. And if I don't know the answer, I'll also tell you. So that can be about playing, that can be about music, that can be about guitar care. Anything. I'm not a master luthier, I'm not a tech, I'm just a guitar player, and I teach. So, if you got any questions, you can ask me and I'll do my best to answer. And this is the beauty of this community. A lot of times on the stream, somebody asks a question that I don't know the answer of, but then somebody else in the chat knows. And then they tell us, and then we verify it online, and then we're like, oh, my lord, we all just learned something new. So that's the magic of it. You guys know when you're playing guitar, when you're trying to speed things up a little, you make like weird faces, like you go without even knowing. Like if you record yourself, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the thing is, every time you work with your hands, it's like that. So eventually you're looking at my face, you'll see me doing like... I'm doing my best not to do it, but my main focus is just to make sure the guitar fretboard doesn't get damaged and I don't burn myself. So if you see any faces and all that, it's like, you know, when somebody makes guitar faces. Riff playing faces. Steve Vai faces, my lord. Steve Vai faces. That man does two things really well. Playing the guitar and making faces. Love me a good Steve Vai tune. Heaven says no, barely can hear it. Love it. Thanks for confirming, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for confirming. That puts my mind at ease a little. Classic band faces. Yeah, like, you know. I'm just trying to keep my face away from the fume. Maybe I can put the mic a little back here. There we go. And now we're good. So all I'm doing now is after I apply a bit of this heat and a bit of solder, because remember, the purpose is not to make the fret malleable. That could be a secondary effect maybe, but the purpose here is to just take the moisture away from that part of the fretboard so the hole opens up a little bit more. So I'm applying the solder here just to, you know, for it to keep the heat. And then what I'll do is Then what I'll do is to then take my fret puller alongside with this and then use it again and pull, essentially. And then after we pull all the frets out, we are done. We get to sand things. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, now, after a certain point, for those who just recently joined the stream, just keep in mind, again, for full clarity, I'm not a guitar tech, and I'm not a master luthier or anything of that nature. I'm just a guitar guy, and I myself am not a complete expert. I'm fairly new to this process too. Like, I haven't done that many of them or anything. So, I'm doing my best. Again, if you got any questions, you can ask me. If I know the answer confidently, I'll answer it. And if I can't, I'll just let you know. And maybe you never know, man. There's somebody going to be like there with 30 years of experience on the chat, and they'll let us know. Heaven asks, which guitarist inspired you the most? Oh, I love this question. What a question. Let me put this aside and focus on the answer. I picked up the guitar because of Metallica's Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield. I was 9 or 10, and a friend of ours brought a Metallica CD. I think it was like in Seattle, 1992. I could be wrong. It's been a long time ago. Watching that concert live was the thing that inspired me to pick up the guitar. But then inspired the most, so many artists, man. Like, after a certain point, there's so much talent out there. Like, old talent, you know, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, that gang, John Petrucci, Guthrie Govan, my lord. Have you seen that guy live? If you guys haven't seen Guthrie Govan live, do yourself a favor and do it before he dies. Like, he just doesn't repeat it. Like, he's crazy. And then you got the likes of Polyphia guys, like, you know, Tim Henson guys and all that. You have the metalcore guys like Matt Heafy and Corey Bailu. So much inspiration out there, like so many talented players. But Metallica was the reason I picked up the guitar. Like, I wanted to pick up the guitar. Heaven asks, is that with Jason vocals and Creeping Death? Man, I love his vocals. I genuinely don't remember. And yeah, his vocals are good. You know, going from like not even having a bass in the mix and Justice for All to actually singing a little, you know. Yeah, it's nice. All right, just quick note, what I'm doing now is that I'm just heating up this without solder, and as I'm doing it, I'm starting to pull the frets out. And I want to start from the corner, like a little bit at the side, wiggle myself in, and then little by little wiggle in. There's no pull out, all right? So here we go. Heat it up. Just go in a little. Boom. And then little by little, just tiny, tiny, tiny. And I want to do it so gently that at the end, right, as I'm like removing the thing, it just falls off. See that? Like, it just comes out. That's how gently I'm doing it. There we go. One fret out. And you guys can see, if you do it right, there shouldn't be any chipping where the fret was. Now, there are fretboards like ebony fretboards that they chip really easy, so you want to be extra careful there if you ever work on an ebony. This piece of knowledge for full clarity, because I've never refretted an ebony fretboard, so for full clarity and for full honesty, is what I've heard. I haven't personally experienced it, because I've never done an ebony fretboard myself yet. I will be doing it eventually. Here we go, just a tiny bit. And here we are. Again, see that? Easy. Have a look. No chipping, nothing. So, that's a good sign. Yeah. How many Metallica fans are actually are here right now on YouTube and Twitch? Tell me. I'd be keen to know. Like, I know these days a lot of people shed on Kirk for him playing the pentatonics too much, or for him using the wah pedal so much. Like, it's fashion now to trash him for that and for Greenie. It's fashion now. I get it. But boy, oh boy, you guys remember how all of us were like, oh my god, when we first heard Enter Sandman's solo? When we first heard Lighting Master of Puppets solo? We were all like, didn't know what to do with ourselves when we first heard it. I get it now, it's fun to trash on him for pentatonics and all that. But, yeah. Okay, this one wants to play a little bit more difficult on one side, so I'm going to try the other side and see if I can get to that part easier. Because I don't want to wrestle with the... Oops. Yeah, this thing is going to play hard to get, and that's fine. Let's heat it up a little more. And if not, I'm just going to leave it and come back to it later. There we go. See, you can be nice. All it takes is a little bit of love and patience. And even the hardest of all fretboards will bend to your will. Boom. There we go. Guitar Heaven says, for me, it was Metallica too. Just love them. I think I saw on YouTube live performances in Russia. Yeah, it's the one with 500,000, like 1 million people watching him live. Like, it was like a sea of people. Imagine, like, is there any artist at all these days that can attract that kind of a crowd? I doubt it. I doubt it. This side is even harder. Okay, let's go back. Like, this is the inconsistency in the way these frets were installed. Come on, there we go. Can I tell you guys something though? In all honesty, like doing these little things, sort of reminds you of how much artistry has gone into the guitar that you just buy and play. Right? It really gives you a bit of a perspective, doesn't it? And this is just the fretwork, right? Like what it takes to build the neck from scratch and all that, and everywhere else on the guitar. Fun fact for those who don't know. So you guys know PRS, right? Paul Reed Smith guitars, and they have this bird inlay, essentially on the guitar neck. Those inlays are made of a total of 37 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. 35 or 37 pieces. 37 pieces of bird, different, like the wings, the body, because they're different shapes, right? So different parts, different inlay is basically made of different parts. But those parts are not coming together like they're like wings, body, and head kind of a deal. There's 37 pieces in that guitar neck. And I'm like, that's insane. PRS's US-made pickups, the amount of coil, the copper wire that is in that pickup, sometimes goes up to 4.3 miles. You heard me right. So for those who don't know, 4.3 miles is about 1.5 kilometers. That's how much copper wire is in that pickup. The coil, the winding. So doing these little things helps you appreciate like the artistry, the effort, the thing that has gone into this guitar for you to hold it and play it. Now, PRS core guitars, obviously, you know, you gotta appreciate those, but even an El Cheapo $100 guitar like the one I'm working on right now, you know? So, it just makes you appreciate it, man. Even if it's like a cheap Chinese-made guitar. It makes you really appreciate it. when I was a kid and I wanted to play the electric guitar, and my parents never let me play because I grew up in a really weird family, conservative, traditional. This is the guitar that I'd be like, it'll be my dream guitar if I was like at that age, at that time. What I'm holding right now that I'm so comfortably working on, you know? So you just gotta appreciate it. You really do. Here we go. I think we're good. One thing I'll add, and this is not much of it happening now, but a lot more of it will happen later, is that as you guys are, you know, sanding the neck or working on a guitar and little pieces of metal, little pieces of wood, little pieces of solder come out, just never touch your face with your hand, because those little particles literally cover your pores in the skin. It's unhealthy, and then next thing you know, like your skin breaks out. Again, never happened to me. I've heard it from others, and I've listened to them, to those that this has happened to. So, yeah. Here we go. Heaven says, same here. I was pushed into piano at the age of 5, but never was my instrument. Right. Isn't it interesting? Such a common theme, no? Such a common theme. Yeah. The funny thing is, like, you see it in a lot of people that in their childhood they were swayed or forced one way or the other, and then in adulthood they find themselves and they just like go back to what they wanted to go as a kid. Isn't it interesting? Yeah. There we go. Little by little, take it out. Guitar Heaven asks, what are your thoughts about Van Halen? Okay, this is where people are going to get upset. I respect him so much as a musician, as a technical artist of the guitar, as a pioneer. A lot of the famous riffs in the guitar world are based on Van Halen riffs. He was a master of his craft, no question. He really made tapping a thing. So we all owe him a lot, right? And I respect him so much for it. Like being a visionary in the guitar space. You don't get that many people like that, right? Visionaries, people that actually change things. So that is that. That being said, to be honest with you, like the music itself, what he played, like the notes he played, not how he played, because he played superb well, right? But the music he played is just not my cup of tea. Again, great music, just not my cup of tea. And I know a lot of people get upset, like, how can you say that about Van Halen and all that? And your heroes probably like, you know, Van Halen is your heroes. And you'd be absolutely right to say that. You'd be correct to assert that. But I gotta be honest with you guys, like, you know, I respect the guy. He's a visionary. He's amazing. His music wasn't for me. Yeah. And I know his music is great. People love his music. Just not for me. Yeah. hope I answered the question. I hope you don't feel like I'm like trashing on your music taste, because I genuinely am not. Like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. But do you like Van Halen? Or are there people that feel strongly about Van Halen and his music? Yeah, I know. His son, Wolfgang, is it his son? I think his name is Wolfgang. I know his son is also a touring artist, if I'm not mistaken. Wolfgang Van Halen. Yeah. If anyone, I don't know, like I mean, it's being Van Halen's son is not always easy. I mean, it's really easy if you want to become a guitar player, then you're in a perfect position to. You know what I mean? But carrying the name of Van Halen and keeping it up is difficult. Like, how can you top that? You know what I mean? And so the poor guy, like, I hope he doesn't get like, you know, oh, you're just Van Halen's son. I hope at some point he can like get some recognition for his own work. You know? Yeah, that's a tough one. Being Van Halen's son, Eddie Van Halen's son, and playing the guitar, like as a profession, that's tough. You know, you get every facility, every connection, everything you possibly need to succeed. So if you don't succeed, that's a problem. But at the same time, like, even if you succeed to a great deal, it's going to be really hard to like top 80 Van Halen, you know. So I feel for the guy. What can I say? Yeah. I been really recently fascinated with how, because talking about Eddie Van Halen, and obviously Eddie Van Halen's one of the signature thing he does was the tapping, right? He was the guy that, I don't know if he invented tapping or not, doubt it, right? But he made tapping a thing, right? He made tapping really mainstream. I've been as of late really fascinated with this sort of like technical gent metal players just tapping the heck out of an 8-string guitar and making crazy sounds out of it. So impressive. So beautiful. There's just like so much talent and hard work into that. Yeah. Here we go. Come out. You know you want to. I got it. There we go. Heaven says, oh man, with Dave was okay. Amazing riffs, songs were good, but Dave's vocals were meh. But Sammy's era with 5150 balance, man, I could just listen to that 24/7. Yeah, 5150s, dude. Still, like, it's the industry standard for metal players. For those who don't know, by the way, guys, 5150 refers to the amp. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. Let me quickly share my screen, and I'll show you what I mean by what I just said. Google 5150 amp. Hold on. This thing is what we're talking about. It's the industry standard right now for like metal players, gent players, and all that. Yeah, still. Like, you know, it was so good that gent players play gent with it. Yeah. Yeah. Some albums, man. Some sounds, some tones are just, built forever. And here's the thing, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts on this. You guys tell me what you think about this. But the thing is, I don't think anyone will ever be as big as a Van Halen, as a Randy Rhoads, as a Metallica, Black Sabbath, that 80s, 90s era. I don't think anyone will ever be as big as them. And not just because like people are not good enough, like technically, talent-wise, or work ethic-wise, but just because of the fact that back in those days, like, you know, TV, MTV, there was like 3 channels. There were 3 broadcasting sources, like 2, 3, whatever, right? That broadcasted music. And that's all people had, and that's all everybody tuned into. And so then whatever that was played through MTV or whatever channel, like MTV would be like the source for the culture. You know what I mean? They would set like, they would be the channel that everybody tunes into. So they would be able to, you know, give kind of like what do you call it? Like, be the culture. So everybody tuned into the same thing. And that's why like one single artist or band could become ginormous. Like Metallica, we were talking about with Heaven earlier, had a concert in Russia with like 500,000 people there live in front of him. Like, what? You know what I mean? Ed Sheeran doesn't pull 20% of that number on his good day. Like the stadiums he performs like, what, 100,000 people? 150? How big is the O2? Can someone confirm? The O2 Arena? Like, and that's Ed freaking Sheeran, right? Like he's it right now. He's like the popular, like Taylor Swift, whoever is popular these days. They don't pull that kind of crowd, but not because they're bad. It's just that now we all listen to music in our little silos. There's Spotify, you get a membership, or whatever your music thing is, Apple Music or whatever, or just YouTube for free. YouTube Music is there. And we all listen to what we like and more of what we like. And so now, next thing you know, like you go to this like Grammys award or whatever, you watch it live, and then somebody gets like a Grammy, and you're like, who is that person? You know what I mean? And then you think, oh, am I getting old? And no, you're not getting old. Everyone's just listening to music in their little silos. So it's not a surprise that suddenly some artist comes up that you never heard before. And this never like happened before in the 80s or 90s. Like there was one culture and everybody tuned into it, you know? Like, Heaven says, you know, if guitarist amp says 5150, that should be amazing. Yeah, 5150's rock, dude. And not just like the amp head and cabs, even the simulations. Like, I have a Line 6 Helix unit at home, multi-effect. That 5150's simulator is awesome. It sounds so good. It sounds so like almost identical to the real stuff. Like 99.9% there. Yeah, 5150 somehow really killed it. This fret was easy. I like it. See, this fret was nice. We liked it. There we go. I'm just wiping my fretboard a little, using the towel underneath. We're almost done. We're almost done with this part of the work, and then I might do the rest of it today or some other time. Yeah. It'll be a part 2 video to this. Yeah. By the way, if you guys ever decide to do this at home, like guitar refretting, right? Or anything guitar related at home. Quick tip, if you don't do it live on stream, it'll be a lot faster. Because right now, I want to talk to you guys, we're having a chat, we're chilling and having a good time. But if you're doing it at home with some nice background music and everything else, you know, and a bottle of beer, a can of beer, can't go wrong, you know? It'll be a little faster than this. But we're taking our time. We're taking our time. We like it. You know what, man? I gotta tell you guys this. I gotta tell you guys this. And I say it on every stream. Those who are regulars know that without exaggeration, over the past 60 streams that I've done, this is number 60, right? As you guys could see it in the thumbnail. In every single one of those, pretty much, of those streams, I say this in one way or the other. Our time is running out. We're not getting any younger. Like, this is as good as it gets. You know what I mean? This is really as good as it gets. And we're not getting any younger. So just cherish it, do what you love, play your guitar, and just have a good time doing it. And this is like what we're doing now. Just chilling, having a good time. Enjoying the process. Yeah. Garcel, how are ya? Garcel says, first time viewer here. Hey, there we go. Welcome aboard. Lovely stream idea. Cool setup too. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Garcel, tell me, how are you doing? How's your Friday? Is it athletic? Is it let's kick some rear end? Good seeing you. Yeah. Sorry, we're almost done. So now, guys, after I'm done, what I need to do is to try to sand the fretboard a little bit, right? Now, when I sand the fretboard, there's two scenarios that you're going to likely deal with, right? The first scenario is that you want to re-radius your guitar neck. So let's just say your guitar neck is at a 12-inch radius or a 10-inch radius, and you want to change that to another number. Rounder or flatter, doesn't matter. That's one scenario. The other scenario is that, no, I don't want to change my guitar fretboard radius. I just want to clean things up, right? So that's less time consuming, that's easier, and so on and so forth. Now, with that comes certain considerations. I'll give you just some examples. This is by no measures a complete list, but this is just some considerations for you to keep in mind. For example, if you're changing the radius of your fretboard, are you also changing the radius of your bridge? Do you need to do that? Or can you adjust the bridge on its own? Because if your bridge is fixed in the height of its saddles, and you can't adjust the radius there, then if you go on and re-radius your guitar fretboard, what is going to happen is that your guitar fretboard is going to have a different radius to your bridge. It's going to be either flatter or rounder than your bridge. And that is going to cause issues, for example, in setting up the action of your strings consistently, right? So if you imagine a scenario where your guitar bridge is more round than your fretboard, what happens is that because the fretboard is this much flat and your bridge is this much flat, so it's like rounder, right? The middle strings, the strings B and G, are going to have much higher actions, not much, but like higher action than the other strings when it comes to you setting up your guitar. So if you don't have adjustable saddles on each of the 6 saddles, like if each of the 6 saddles are not adjustable, then setting up the action to that guitar is going to be difficult. If it's a Floyd Rose or a Schaller floating bridge, you might have a hard time. So one thing to keep in mind is that if you're refretting your guitar, you just have to make sure that you also have the ability to match the radius of your bridge to the new radius of your guitar. Otherwise, there are other considerations, and I just gave you one example of it. The other thing to keep in mind, now this is like when it comes to actually the work of refretting, right, is that if you want to change the radius of your guitar fretboard, then you're going to have to use a different sandpapers, different sand grits, right? So you might have to use something a little bit more coarse to reshape the fretboard as you go. Whereas if you want to do something like that I'm going to do today. So this guitar fretboard is 14 inches. I'll tell you why I think that in a second. But I don't want to change it from 14 to any other number, 12 or 16 or whatever. So all I want to do is just to clean it up and prepare the platform for the next frets to come in, right? And so if that's the case, you don't need to sand it too much, and the sandpaper that you use shouldn't be that coarse, that strong, if you know what I mean. So there are considerations like that when it comes to you re-radiusing your guitar fretboard or not. So there's things that you have to think about. And I just tried to give you two examples, one of either scenario, so you kind of get an idea of what is it that is going to happen. Okay, now, Garcel posted something in the chat that I kept you waiting, man. Sorry, I was just in the middle of that flow and I kept you waiting. I saw this thing coming in. Garcel says, just starting off, bowl of oatmeal and a long day of work ahead. Hope your day is going great. Thanks, man. Kick it today. Have that oatmeal, get that energy, add some honey in there. Add some honey to it, get that sugar going. And then kick ass on all 6 cylinders. Have a great Friday ahead of you, is what I say. Have a great Friday ahead of you. We only live one life, man. You gotta live it to the best way possible. And the weekend is ahead. You know, you finish your long day at work. You come back home, pop a bottle of beer, and then pick up the guitar. That's a good Friday. That's a good Friday night. Come on, Fret. Don't play with me. Oof, there we go. Got it. Got it. And once I take the last fret out, before we proceed any further, we're going to get to my favorite part of the stream. And the regulars on the stream know exactly what my favorite part of the stream is. But we'll get to that in a second. There we go. Yeah, so one thing I'll add, I read this article of John Mayer in an interview. John Mayer in an interview was talking about fretboard radius, right? John Mayer was talking about how he doesn't notice any difference between a fretboard radius of 7.5 degrees, very round as it gets. Right? We don't have more round than that, right? He said, John Mayer said that he doesn't notice the difference between a 7.5 and any other. And I'm like, so really? You don't notice the difference between 7.5 and 20 inches? You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? Now, that's John Mayer. Maybe John Mayer is just too good. And he's just picks up any guitar and connects with it instantly. Like, syncs with it right away. Good Lord, some guitars feel really different. I don't understand why he'd say that. My favorite guitar fretboard radius sits between 14 and 20. Flat. So yeah.
It's me making space for you, like I'm standing at a door I never opened before.
Who wants some music?
You don't touch me, but I'm already shaking.
By the way, still ask me questions and I put the music down and I'll answer, right? So I'm here to answer your questions. Ask me if you got any. Yeah. So yeah, for me, my favorite fretboard radius is between 14 to 20, depending on the guitar. My main guitar right now is at 14 inches radius. Yeah. Watching people do something like this and then doing it yourself makes you makes you understand why guitar refrets are so expensive. They're freaking expensive. You know? like if you have multiple guitars, it's actually like an investment to learn how to do it and then try it on cheap necks, cheap guitars, and then, you know. Because like you don't want to have like 10 guitars that at some point you'll take them all for refrets and you're screwed.
Don't explain a thing.
Alright, this fret is playing a little hard to get. And I don't want to pull it out. Like I told you guys earlier, you don't want to grab and pull. You just want to wiggle it little by little. And this is playing hard to get.
And the glow we made, if this moment disappears, let it fade this way. Your hand is barely touching, but I feel the heat.
Almost done.
Like a secret in my chest, you don't have to speak. Stay a little closer. Don't explain a thing. I don't need forever. Just this quiet feeling. I fell for you.
I fell for you.
I fell for you.
So yeah, by the way, we will have a Friday night stream as well. So tonight there will be another stream for those of you in the United States of America, and in that time zone. We will have a Friday evening rather stream. I had a student who canceled at that time, so I had a 6 p.m. student that he canceled. So, and that's the only class I actually teach today. So, on Friday. So what I'll do, I'll be doing another stream, and we'll go through the stuff. But then Saturday night, guys, our stream schedule is exactly like every Saturday night. So it won't be working on guitars like what I'm doing right now. It'll be guitar market, new guitars, guitar reviews, and all that jazz. So we'll have our usual stream on Saturday night without any changes. So yeah, this is like the extra stuff that we're doing. I'm trying to do more and more lives because I just really have fun talking to you. Like, because like if you just make a video content, and I love doing that too. It's good fun to make content that makes people have a laugh and learn something and have a good time watching. It's a good thing. But I just like the streams a lot. The streams are special because you get to talk to people. And so I'm doing my best to do as many streams as I possibly can. Now, working 70 hours a week doesn't, give you all the time in the world to do it as much as you want. And I'm learning to become better with my time management. So, without having to reduce what I'm doing, I can actually do more lives. So I'm doing my best to do it. So from once a week now, we're doing twice a week, and then 3 times a week, and, and more. But yeah, so our Saturday night stream, if you're in Japan, it'll be Sunday morning. That stream is still on like every week. We've been doing it without fail. So do not worry. This is not a replacement. This is just additional stuff because I love doing it. Yeah. So there we go. One last fret left, man. We're almost done. Look at that. One last fret. How good is that? Shaolin says, oh my god, I hope that's not a real guitar. It is a real guitar. It's a real guitar neck. I'm refretting the guitar. What are you talking about? I am refretting this baby. What are we talking about here? Of course it's a guitar. Why would I refret a fake guitar, Shaolin? How are you, brother? You good? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. I hope that's not a real guitar. All right, well done. There we go. Here we go. Let's turn it off. All right, we don't need the fan anymore. No fumes, so no more fan. Shaolin says, you got to stop handling hot, sharp tools on stream. So, okay, for those who don't know, I did a stream trying to change the pickup on a guitar. And the old soldering iron I had was a crappy, cheap Amazon one. And it wasn't heating up enough for it to actually melt the old solder in the guitar's electric circuit. So we stayed on that stream for 3 hours trying to get that sorted, and it didn't work. And Shaolin, obviously being Shaolin, you know, was just throwing it at me. He was just giving it to me dirty. So what happened that day was that you know, the stream was over. I went on to a tool store and I bought this soldering iron that you guys are seeing. And then it just worked like magic in like a minute. I just melted everything and I just went through the changing of the pickup. Well, that was like a long stream with nothing happening on it. Not much happening on it. And so what Shaolin is referring to is that stream, for those of you who don't know. All right. It's getting to my favorite part of the stream. You guys give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I just got to bring something. For those who don't know, we have a favorite part in every single stream. I've been doing this on every stream. This is stream number 60. And I've been doing it on every stream. And that is me drinking to your health. That's it. I haven't had alcohol since 2019. I quit drinking 6-7 years ago. But I can still drink this to your health. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. On a Friday morning, if you're in the US, Friday night if you're in Japan, my place of birth. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It means the world. You guys coming in, watching, getting in the chat, getting athletic, throwing mud at me, asking questions. That's what it's all about, man. I love doing it. To your health, guys. Thanks for hanging out. My lord, isn't this a good thing? Can't go wrong with a cold Pepsi. I gotta tell you. Cheers. All right. Shaolin says fumes. Guess that's what you're doing this for. I literally brought in our home's compact AC unit. And I just turned on the fan as I was doing it. So, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okie dokie. So, what did we do so far? Remove the neck, remove the nut, level the fret, get rid of the fretboard. Right? Yeah, he said it again. Of course he said that again. He just said it again. Shaolin says, I'm guessing ganja since 2009. No, sir. What is it with you insisting? In all sincerity, I didn't let that thing touch my skin. And I have friends who do it. Like college friends. I have college friends that I'm still friends with, and they love that stuff. It was never my thing. Like, I love it cold. I love a cold bottle of whiskey. Cold bottle of beer, rather, and a nice shot of whiskey. That was my thing. Now, will I always quit forever? No, I'll probably start drinking at some point. But not yet. Shaolin says, I can see your eyes. Shaolin, you asked for it. I didn't do it. You asked for it. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Look. Look into my eyes, Shaolin. Look deeply. Look how great they look. Look how athletic my eyes are. Is this the eyes? Are these the eyes? I mean, my grammar sucks too, but are these the eyes of someone that does that stuff? Look at it. You know what? Let's do a contest. Let's you and I just stare at each other and see who blinks first. Ready? And go. Fuck. I can't do it with these lights on my eyes. Like, oh god, that was embarrassing. But that's okay. That's all right. Let me shrink myself. All right, here we go. But I don't know if you blinked earlier, so here we go. Bottle of whiskey, that makes sense. A bottle of whiskey, yeah. Bottle of beer, glass of whiskey. You'll die with a bottle of whiskey. All right, so we're done with this stuff. I'm gonna keep the frets. Not like to reuse it because you can't really reuse these stuff anymore. But I like to keep him, and then I'll see in about 5 years' time what's the weight of the frets that I've pulled out of guitar necks, and that gives me an idea. The reason I do it, and that's not my initiative, by the way. So I learned how to do this from probably one of the best guitar techs in all of Australia, Michael Heron from Heron Custom Guitars, and he moved to Arizona not long ago. That's something that he did, and he told me about it. I'm good buddies with him. He's a great guy. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. So if I pull all these frets out, I'm going to keep him. And then in 5 years, 10 years time, you weigh him. And then that kind of gives you an idea of how much reps you've actually put into this and how good you're at it. And I think that's a great thing to do. Yeah. Now, quick reminder, whenever you're working with stuff like this that has residues, wood, when we start sanding, which is what we're going to do now, sorry, very important, don't touch your face with your hand. Don't do it, because those little particles are going to fill in your skin pores and your skin's going to break out. It's not a good thing for you. So I am going to put the frets away. Shaolin says, staring contest with the camera. Yeah, no ganja involved. Having a go at Soren Friday, huh? It's like the story of the high guy who was driving and got stopped by a police car and then ordered a pizza. Garcel says, seeing that bundle of frets reminded me of when I had my Les Paul refretted. Gave them all away to band members and close friends. Really? Nice, okay. As a memorabilia? Because I don't think you can reuse those that crazy much. Because the thing is, like, with these tanks, have a look. They get worn out. The older the guitar gets, the more, obviously, you know. Nevertheless, all right, so here we are. This is our guitar neck. Now, here's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this. I mean, you can use this as well, but... Here we go. So that is a radius gouge. I'm going to use the radius gouge. Now, I know the fretboard radius on this guitar. It's 14 inches, but just to show you how I do it, when I don't know, is that you get, like, two types of radius gouges. You get some of these ones that, like, are curved at the bottom like this, and you put it on your fretboard like that, and if no light is coming under it, that means you're right. And the other one is this one. Like this. Again, you put it on your fretboard and you figure it out. All these spots, by the way, are for you to measure that radius when you got the strings on. So each string goes into that, right? So there are different tools that you can kind of do the same thing with. But essentially, the idea is that if I'm like, for example, this is 725, right? I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but if I put the 725 here right now, you guys can see how the middle, the belly, where the middle of my fretboard is, see how like so much light is coming from under it? What that tells me is that the top part, this, is too round for the fretboard, so therefore that's not the right radius. And so if there's light coming from the middle, it tells you that your fretboard is more flat than the gauge, the measuring tool. But if the sides are where the lights is coming out, not the middle, what that tells you is that your guitar is more round, probably, right? The fretboard. So here we go. I know for a fact that this guitar has 14 inches in radius. Now, obviously, guitar necks, just like how we explored it at the beginning of the video when it comes to how straight the guitar neck was, are not going to be consistent, right? They're not going to be perfectly flat. So it's kind of a good idea. What I like to do, and some people might find it unnecessary, I don't know. I'm not a master luthier either, right? I'm a guitar guy who likes to do these kind of things on his own guitars. But what I like to do is to just measure it from like different parts. See that? So even then, it's like so inconsistent. There's still a little bit of light coming from the belly. But then when I go to the 12th fret, it's like a perfect fit. Perfect fit. A little bit of a belly. So 14 inches imperfectly. Inconsistently, 14 is the best fit for it. Right? So now we know. That's the idea. So if you ever do this at home on a guitar, chances are that that guitar's radius, a fretboard radius, is not going to be perfect. Similar to how, you know, no matter how well you adjust the truss rod, your neck might not be perfectly straight. So here we go. Yeah, we're almost 2 hours in, and I'm definitely not going to do all the refret on the stream. We'll do some of it later, maybe later tonight. I think we're doing good progress. All right, so here we are. Now, what I'm going to do, next step, is for us to now sand the fretboard. Now, like I said, this is 14 inches in radius. 14 inches is good for me. My main guitar has 14 inches in its fretboard radius, so I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to re-radius it. So I don't need, number one, I don't need to use a really strong sanding paper to sand this. It's just a cleanup. And number two, obviously, I don't need to take that much material out of my fretboard. And that's a very important thing, right? So let's get the party started now. For us to sand, ideally, you want to do it standing up. And I'll show you guys the technique that I've been taught to do. And I'll do it that way, but let me just get rid of the soldering iron. How are we? Are we cold enough? Not yet. Let's turn it off fully. And I'll take it out like there. Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna unplug it. And collect this. It's cooling down, but it's not fully cold yet, so I'm just gonna keep it where it is for now. But let me just see if I can clean things up a little as I go. Again, when you're doing these stuff at home and you're not a luthier, you don't have your workshop, you just do it on your workbench, like day job desk, like what I'm doing. You know, put a towel under, yada yada. You just gotta make sure that you're aware of how much space you got to do a job. And so as you go through every step, clean up and put things aside, and you realize that that's why like this area is nice and empty and clean. Otherwise, I'll be having like thread wires in there and screws in there and everything else in there. So, yeah. Am I rolling the edges? Yes. Sand it. File the edges of the slots. And then install the frets. Level, glue, you know, hammer, level, all that stuff. Do all of that. obviously rolling the edges. But that's like a lot later in the process. So there's after you install your frets, you glue it, you nip, you level, you crown, and then you take care of the little edges of the fretboard. Yeah. All right, this is as comfortable as I am with the current temperature of the soldering iron, so we'll just leave it there. So now, guys, for us to sand this and level it, re-level it, fix any issues with it, right? Because it's already in the fretboard radius that we wanted, we don't have to do that crazily much. So we can be really gentle about it and do it really do minimal work on it. There's two ways people like to deal with it. First one is to use a tool like this that I never use. It's like a straight file. It's just straight, and you do that, and you do it with a thing that is straight. One way to do it. You can do that. I never use this tool. You guys can see it's still in its package. Like, I don't like to do it that way. A better way to do it is to use a radius block. Use a radius block. Right? So this, see how it's round? It's for the radius of the guitar neck, of the fretboard, literally. And there are different sizes. So I've got the 14 here on one side, 10 on the other side. These radius blocks come they're made out of metal sometimes. They're sometimes made with wood. Metal is probably more stable long term because, with the wood, if it gets moisture and all that jazz, it might shift a little. Metal is less likely from what I've read. So, but I know, like, the person that taught me, he uses wooden blocks. So I don't think it's going to make that crazy much of a difference. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I never remember this, I'm going to have a look at my sandpaper in a second. If you are refretting, my apologies. If you are re-radiusing, you got to go for a lower grit, like 180, if I'm not mistaken. So you put a 180 sandpaper, grit sandpaper on this when you go for that work. However, if you're just cleaning things up, you can stay at around 220, 240 grit. So softer, not as coarse, not as crazy. That's from memory, but I could be wrong. But the thing is, in a second, I'm going to have to put the sandpaper at the bottom of this and start working here, right? And I'll tell you the technique that I use, but that's the reason why you have to remove the nut every time you do a refret. Sometimes if you roam around online forums enough, guitar forums, one of the things that you see sometimes as a complaint is that some people say, hey, I took my guitar for a refret and I was charged for a new nut. Almost every time you do a refret, you have to do a new nut. Number one, you have to take the nut out for you to be able to do any work on this anyways, and I'll explain in a second why when I start doing it. But number two is that when you install new frets, those frets in all likelihood are going to have a different height. When you're done with the work, you level, you install the frets, they might be completely different size. Like if you install jumbo frets, they're going to be higher than your like average traditional frets, right? And then you're going to have to level them and crown them. So their size is going to be, in all likelihood, different. That is why it's important to have a new nut installed every time you do a refret, so that you make sure that your guitar knocker is like perfectly cut for the fret that you're installing on the guitar. Does that make sense? So if you go to get a refret done and the luthier, the guitar tech says, hey, this is like for fret, this is for this, and this is for the nut, he's not trying to screw you over. There are not that honest luthiers out there. No questions about it. I've been to a guitar store. The guy tried to charge me $70 for a CTS pot. Could you believe it? $70 for a CTS pot. Right? So there are people that don't do the right thing out there. But if the guy says, look, you're going to need a new nut when you do a refret, he's not screwing you over, that's actually the way it is. I see it a lot on guitar forums. Yeah. Okay, so let me get a sandpaper. And we're going to need the fret slot saw in a second too, so I'm just going to bring it out already. are the new ones I bought. That's the... That's the 180 that I'm not gonna need. That's a 240. Hell yeah, I was so right about it. I remembered it, so I'm so happy with myself right now. So 180 if you want to re-radius. 220, 240 if you want to just reshape. And this is what we're doing. So here we go. That's the sandpaper. And what I'm going to do is to put the sandpaper at the bottom of my radius block. Yeah. And if I bought the right one this time, because this is a new one I bought, this is not the old one that I bought, this should come with a tape at the back of it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to tape it. I thought this comes with a... God damn it. Okay. I bought the wrong one. I should have stuck to the old one that I bought. I just wanted to try something new. It was like cheaper with good reviews and I just like went for it. I regret it now. I thought this was coming with like it could get glued. So what I was hoping for is that this thing, there's something you remove and it get glued here and then you can just roll, but clearly not. Okay. Fine. I gotta use a double-sided tape to fix that, and I've got a double-sided thing at home. I'm gonna use it in a second, but let us cut this baby. So what I am gonna do is to find a pen. I had a pen, I swear to God, and I'll be using this too in a second, so we'll leave it there. Where's my pen? So now, what I want to do, because the sandpaper I've got is wider than my radius block, right? I'm just going to draw the shape of the radius block on it, and then I'm going to have to cut it, essentially, right? So here it is. I put my radius block in there, like that, and I'm trying to save as much as I can, so I'm not going to cut it, like I'm not going to put it in the middle. I'm going to put it on the corner that it's there like that. Like I'm not going to cut it like this on both sides, just to save as much as I can. Let's not, you know, create waste unnecessarily. Now I'm trying to get you guys to see it, but now I can't see anything. Hold on. Enjoy the relaxing music while I cut. Go and get a cutter. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm just gonna go and get a cutter. Where's the font? How do you, Jesus Christ, how do you type in this thing? I used to know it. There we go. Be right back. Bringing equipment. I should have done it from the get-go. Alright, I'll be right back. Let me just bring a cutter and something to cut this thing on. BRB. Shaolin says, use a craft knife. It will lift the backing if you stick into paper into a shallow angle. Right, okay. I gotta get one of those. I don't have it. Give me a second. chopping board that I brought. It's a heavily technical item. Not everybody has it at home. So I understand that if you don't have specialized tool, you might, think to yourself, oh, wow. So here we go. Let's cut this baby. Woo! Give me that blues. Give me that blues. Let's go. Perfect. Hell yeah, that was a nice tune, no? That was a really good tune. I like it. Yeah, give me more blues. Hell yeah. Let's put this away. So, don't need to sandpaper the rest of it anymore. And I'm gonna keep the cutter in my guitar equipment bag. It was in another equipment bag. So, there we go. Alright, so let's put this away as well. Now, again, this is the challenge. I have to figure a way out to tape this to the bottom of the block. But I don't have a double-sided tape. I was under the impression that this damn thing is one of those things that you remove the thing and you connect the... I was wrong. This is where cost-saving measures fail miserably, so I have to figure another way out. I don't want to super glue it. I don't want to super glue it to this. It's going to be difficult to remove, but I may have to do it if I have to do it. What are the other things we can do about this? What if I use a double-sided pad, like a taping pad? It will create a bulge. Yeah, not a good idea either. Super glue seems to be the way to go. I'll be honest with you guys. And I'm gonna have to remove and then clean this thing. It's gonna be a pain. But I don't see any other way to do it. I just bought the wrong one. Damn it. I don't think I can use this tape either. What do we do? Any ideas, everybody? Anybody? How can I... Yeah, I doubt it, man. This doesn't have that removing thingy. Yeah, bummer. Super glue it? You want to try shall we try super gluing it? And then we can just remove the super glue. I just heat it up and remove it. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. Just gotta do a very little of it though. Why is this? Yeah, I think it's just shut from the old usage. Damn. Okay. How can I safely do it? It's stuck. Stick a piece of tape at the backing and try lifting the backing. Yeah, but it will come off. I'll try it. I got a tape. I thought about it. Be patient, Shaolin. Stick a piece of tape on the backing and then try lifting the backing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like this. Like a double tape, essentially. Right? Like, that's what you want to do. And you could be right. It could very well work. Oh my god, dude. No, on the corner of the backing and pull the tape. I don't think it has it. It's not like that I'm trying to do it. I don't think it's one of those ones that has tape behind it. It doesn't have it. I thought it had it. That's why I bought it. But it doesn't. So if you don't have a double-sided tape, like I don't, you're screwed. I can try this and see how it goes, because ultimately, I'm going to push this against the guitar anyways. Right? So if I do this right now, let's try it. It should let me do the job just fine. Yeah, I can still work with it. Do it with the tape. Oh my god, ganja heads don't listen. On the corner of the backing. Alright, let's see what you're saying. So, let's go back to it. Stick a piece of tape on the backing and try to lift the backing. So stick a piece of tape on the backing of this and try to lift it. Is that what you're saying? What is it? Yes, okay. It doesn't work. This damn thing doesn't have a tape behind it. Is what I'm saying. This thing doesn't have a tape behind it. Like there's nothing gluey behind it. You know what I mean? Corner to pull the tape. Yeah, use the tape. I don't follow you, dude. Do it with the tape. Oh my god, ganja heads don't get. So what do you? You would have been fired by now. Fine. So on the corner of the backing like this, just like put it at the corner like that, at the top corner like that. Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying. But what the thing I don't want to do. What do you mean on the backing? On the backing of what, dude? Like here? I don't follow you. You gotta elaborate it. And pull the backing tape to lift the backing. I don't follow you, dude. I don't know what you mean by that. Like I'm doing my best to figure out what you're saying. I have no idea what you're saying right now. Send me a link of a video of what you mean on Instagram. Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about. All of this because I just selected the wrong. Okay. While Shaolin is sending me that on Insta, here's what you want to do. So this is how I learned to do it when it comes to sanding the fretboard, right? Essentially, imagine there was a straight line, like a black line, a dot, like somewhere in the middle. What you want to do is to start from the middle of your sanding block, radius block, like this. So I'm not putting it whole there. I know some people do it. Some people just go up and down. Another method you can do is that you're gonna start from there and imagine that you're going up in one direction at the direction of your string, right? That's what you can do about it. Shaolin says, put the sandpaper on the table, put a piece of tape on the corner of the sandpaper, lift the tape in order to lift the backing of the sandpaper to expose the sticky side of the sandpaper. Okay, so what if the sandpaper doesn't have a sticky side? What would you do then? Is what I'm asking. Okay, so let's do it. We'll do it step by step, Shaolin. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna go back to my way. So, put the sandpaper on the table. Put a piece of tape on the corner of the sandpaper. All right, we're gonna put a piece of fresh tape. We're gonna do it your way. That's a piece of fresh tape. Goes on the corner of the sandpaper. So that's the corner of the sandpaper. Here you go. Right? And then lift the tape in order to lift the backing of the sandpaper. So lift the tape in order to lift the backing of the sandpaper to expose the sticky side of the sandpaper. So I've done that. However, this sandpaper doesn't have a sticky side. And that's what I said earlier when I just opened this up. I said, look, I bought the wrong sandpaper. I tried to save costs. Unfortunately, this sandpaper doesn't have a sticky side. That's what I've been saying. The sandpaper doesn't have a sticky side. That's the problem. I made a mistake. I bought the wrong one. Tried to save a few bucks, and I screwed myself over. All right. So here we go. I'm just gonna use this and that. Shaolin, was that you sending me something on Insta? Let me double check if Shaolin sent me the video. Got it. All right, so here's the thing. What we're gonna do is to now, like I said, go with a half. So half of it is gonna be on the fretboard, and you're gonna go forward and do it in one direction. Now, I told you guys earlier why it's important to remove the nut, right? Another reason why is this. When you start the sanding, you wanna start from the middle of your block. So you wanna start from there. What it allows you to do is that as you stroke, this bit of the block actually covers that piece of wood. If you start from here, right, anything that is in the middle gets the whole, like from here onwards, gets the whole sanding block. So it gets sand this much. But anything at the back there gets only sanded very little. So you want to start from half and go to half outside. See that? This way, the entirety of the fretboard gets equally sanded. That's the idea. Now, if that doesn't make sense, let me know and I'm happy to elaborate it a little more. But essentially, you want to make sure that every bit of the sand, and the same thing applies, by the way, when you put the frets on and you want to level the frets. You want to always start from here. I don't want to do the whole thing right away like that. I want to actually do from half and then do it 6 times. Essentially, only one direction when it comes to the motion of our sanding, right? I don't want to go up and down. Now, the way I've been taught is that it's best to do the standing. So I'm going to stand and you guys are going to see how I'm doing it. Bring the microphone up. Oops. My microphone came out. So there we go. So, what you want to do is you want to stand up. You don't want to do it this way. You want to rotate yourself this way. And you want to go in that direction. Like that. And as you do it, you guys can't see me do this right now, but I'm actually gonna rock on my feet. I'm just gonna hold my arms steady and move my whole body to do it. This way, it ensures that you do the sanding in the most stable way possible. Same technique for the neck, same technique for the fretboard. So here I am. I'm just gonna put this there, and I'm gonna rock myself forward and there you go. See this? That's the technique. So that's one thing you can do. If you really want to go that way, so deep about it, one thing you can do is you can put some pencil marks on. If I have a pencil, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to look at how far my sandpaper is going through to know where I am. But let's see if I got a pencil here to show you how it's done. If you want to go for a full like re-radius, that's what you want to do. Otherwise, a few strokes would be just fine to level the neck, and then you can use the straight edge to see if everything is level or not. For more experienced eyes, so that's not me, but really experienced eyes, you guys can see how, if you use a sanding block, some parts are sanded and some parts are not. So that means the neck is already not even. If all parts are sanded, you kind of got an indication in a way, right? So, let's see if I got a pencil here to show you. And if not, that's completely fine too. Like, it's not we're not sanding that much, so we're okay. So, here we go. Lift this up. And put this on. So, half out. We did the string number 6. Let's go to string number 5 and go. And you want to make sure, and you want to make sure that as you do it, you don't wrestle with it. Like, you want to make sure that the sandpaper does its job as it's supposed to. Go. String number 3.
Breathing slow, let it go. Watch the river take the flow. Cloudy minds, they drift below.
And all the way to the end.
Breathing slow, let it go. Watch the river take the flow. Cloudy minds,
There
they
we go.
drift below. Night falls soft.
I think we're good.
Like a sigh.
So, essentially that's it. And I'm not re-radiusing anything. I'm not trying to change the radius of my fretboard. Just a little to even things out in case there are any unevennesses. Now, 2 things to keep in mind. Have a look, you guys, and see that there are some spots in my fretboard, like here. Maybe I should use something more pointy. I'll use a fret wire. Here you go. Like, there are some spots like this that are not really sanded that much. Like, not much, right? And there are spots like this where they are. What you care about when it comes to sanding is where the frets actually sit. So this bit, it's ideal if you make it as perfect as possible, but a little bit this here and there is not of that crazy of an impact, if you know what I mean. So ideally, you just want to make sure that the parts that your frets sit are absolutely perfectly even, the way they should be. By the way, thank you very much to our moderator, Mrs. Peachy, who just sent me a text on Facebook. I saw that. Thank you. Nah. And here we go. So I don't think we need to do anything more. That looks just fine. I'm not re-radiusing or anything. I'm just trying to clean things up. So I think we're in a good spot. So here we are. Right? And this is the outcome, which is kind of nice. Now, I got to do 2 things here, right? You guys can see. We're going to use this for later, so I'm just going to put this in the stack for now. We're going to come back to this not long from now. I don't know whether it's going to be on this stream or another stream, whether we have time or not. We've been on for 2.5 hours already. Can you believe it? So, here we go. Put this back to where it should go. And keep it safe. And then, So now there's two things I need to do, and a lot of people, three things really, right? And I don't see many people do it, but I was taught to do it. I was lucky enough to have a really, really expert, like one of the best in Australia, to teach me how to do it. So the next step is, now that we've sanded the neck with the correct radius block, the next step for us is to do three things, right? Number one, I want to use a file and just very gently file the tips of where these fret slots sit. And the reason for that is that as you pull these frets off of the fretboard, it sort of like defigures the tip of that slot where it's supposed to be, like right at the top. So I'm just gonna have to file the sides a little bit, just a tiny bit, not much. It's gonna be very little, like a tiny little file that I use, right? Second thing I gotta do is to make sure that I clean all these fret slots. So like from any old glue, any little things sitting there. I'm not trying to deepen my slots using this fret slot saw. So I'm not trying to increase the size there. What I'm trying to do is to clean those slots there, right? Before that, so that's that. And then lastly, what I want to do, so that's first thing was filing. Second thing was this. Thirdly, I want to do like a gentle wettening, if that's the word. So I'm just gonna like use a wet towel, whatever, and just rub it on the fretboard, let it sit there for a little, and then sand it very lightly, just like a tiny little high grit sanding. And what that does, when you add water, when you splash a little bit of water on the fretboard, when you sand it, what it does, it brings some of the pointy bits of the wood grain up, and then when you sand it again, it makes it really nice and smooth. But then you're gonna have to go in and then clean everything up after. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go and bring out a little file, and I'm gonna use this file like that. So very kind of fine file, very thin, and I'm just gonna go to each of these edges. Like, how can I show it to you really well? Like there, and just file it a little bit. That's all I'm gonna do. So here we go. I'm just gonna go in, just file the edge a little bit, not much, right? Yeah. And the thing is, like, this is the roasted maple. It's a lot easier to work with when it comes to like being worried about getting chipped. Ebonies are a little less forgiving. So I'm glad that the frets that I pulled out are not really that like they haven't chipped the fretboard. That's a good thing. The only chipping we have to worry about is where the knot slot was. that one I'm gonna have to buy wood glue and fix it, but that's okay. There we go. So, just a little. And it's essentially what that does is ensures that my fret goes in. The new frets that I put on go in like nice and easy. Yeah. Here we go. And here we go. It's like I was jokingly saying to a friend of mine, I'm like, listen, I'm a guitar guy. I'm not a tech. I'm not a luthier. I like to do these things on my own guitar, and that's where it started from. And then jokingly, I was telling to a guy, I'm like, if AI ever takes my job, I'm gonna have to do this for a living. I would, you know, do that for somebody else. Like that can get stressful if things go wrong. Imagine somebody brings you like a 59 reissue or a real 59 Les Paul. Hey, can you fix this for me? You're like, yeah, sure. And then next thing you know, it throws a curveball at you. You know, that can be stressful. That can be stressful. The person that I learned these stuff from, Michael, my good friend Michael, he is obviously, you know, like I said, one of the best ones to do it in Australia, and then he lives in Arizona now. But one of the things that, like, when I got to know him first, one of the things that made me respect him a lot was the fact that he was telling us stories about how with himself or some of his staff, things gotten wrong, and his motto always to anybody that he taught or he worked with was, listen man, just be honest. If something goes wrong, just be honest, tell the truth, do what you can to help him out. If you can't help him out, arrange for somebody else to help him out, but just be honest with your client. And that was like the thing that was his motto, and I so appreciated that. You know, none of us are supposed to be perfect, but you can be honest about it. You know, and that was one of the main things that I was like, oh, that's my kind of guy. You know, that's what I try to do. And when he said it, I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I got to know him a lot more, and he's an awesome guy. So yeah. All right, so I did that, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this to clean up the knot slots. Essentially, we're not trying to cut deeper or anything. We're just gonna, you know, just clean up the knot slots. That's all I'm doing. So any glue, anything, you know, hooked in there, we're just trying to clean it up. Yeah, and sometimes you realize, like, there are some things that are actually really stuck. There you go. So that's one. And now it's really easy on this fretboard because I don't have any bindings around it. With guitars that have bindings around the fretboard, that's a little bit more complicated, I guess. But lucky for me, this is a simple neck, so. Here we go. Here we go. And oops, this one is really dirty inside, eh? Alright, give me another entry. Maybe I should go the other way. Switch. Holy smokes, what's the glue? There we go. Like the last thing you want to do is to get this song go on the parts of the fretboard you shouldn't go. You don't want to do that. There you go. There you go.
Trace my thoughts like they're glass in your hands. If we fall, don't you let me land.
Yeah, just glue.
So try slow, heart slow. Let me see your face. Don't stop, baby, don't stop. I wanna hide forever in your heart. Try slow, let me see your face. Don't stop, I wanna hide forever in your heart.
And here we go. Get rid of the glue. We're good. Yeah, like I said it earlier, man, it's like in these moments you realize, you appreciate why a refret costs as much as it costs. Like, it really takes a lot of time to do it. comparing with like other guitar related stuff, you know? Like changing a pickup is a lot faster. What I wish I should, this is what I should do. Let me get a piece of paper. And what I want to do is to see if I can store some of this wood dust, not sand dust, some of the wood dust that comes out. I can store it, and then what I can do is that whenever there's chips on a fretboard, I can just mix it with super glue and then fill that chip and then resand the neck. Yeah, there we go. This is perfect. I can just like literally harvest sandpaper, wood sand. I should have done it earlier, and I knew I should have done it. I just dropped the ball. Here we go. So this is what you can do, guys. If you got like a fretboard that got chipped a little, there's a spot that there's a bit of a hole in your fretboard, get sand dust, you know, and then put the sand dust in the spot, like just fill that spot in with why am I calling it sand dust? Sorry guys, wood dust. Get some wood dust, ideally from the same neck. Fill that spot in, put super glue on it, and the super glue essentially will just go into the between the grains and everything else, and then you just sand on top of it once it gets dried out, and that fixes the issue. And because the wood material that you're using in the dust is from the same fretboard, nobody will know the difference. Nobody will know better. There you go. No, I don't want glue. I just want wood dust. There we go. That's better. And I gotta get a plastic container to save this precious wood dust. Yeah. Here you go. The reason it's important to clean the slots of the fretboard, by the way, the fret slots, by the way, the reason it's important is because if you don't clean them well, you're gonna have a hard time putting the new frets in, you know? So that's what makes it really, really important. And it really has to be nice and clean. And this is why in some like online videos you see that the luthier uses like a vacuum to clean the whole area, you know? Like literally like either industrial or just like a home grade vacuum machine. Yeah. Shaolin says, came back from walking the dog, so you still have all your fingers. Big W. Thanks, man. It means a lot. I hope your dog doesn't get half of this charming attitude you give me. Charming behavior. And here we go. Rotate. That stubborn piece of glue. Sand this again, just because of the glue is pulling out more than what I was hoping for. That's okay. Yeah, that glue is rough in there, man. Holy moly. There we go. Shaolin says, fretboard changed color. Did it have lacquer on it? No, it didn't have lacquer on it. I just haven't cleaned it. My dog doesn't do ganja. He might need to do it just to deal with your attitude, dude. He might. If you got a local dealer, introduce him to him. He might need some of it.
But no, it didn't have lacquer on it. I just have to clean it. I put the damp tissue or towel on it because I have to do it anyways. I have to splash a little bit of water. Not splash, but just like use a damp towel on it just for the wood grains to pop out. And I do a fine sanding before I proceed any further. Yeah. Now, by the way, if you guys like want to do this at home, you don't need something like this to do it, by the way. Like, you can just do a normal razor and do the job with it. So it'll do the job just fine. There we go. It's the glues at the tip that are something special. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to resand this again, and that's fine. Not like I need too much sanding. Hold on, let me just get rid of the glue things. There we go. We just want the wood dust in there. Perfect. Yeah, roasted maple is great. Like, every time I see a guitar with roasted maple, that makes me happy. Perfect. We're good there. No? Yeah, we're good there. We're doing all right. Go. Get that glue out of the way, man. Get it out. Get it out. That sounds better. That sounds a lot better. We like it. Still got a little clean to you. All right, let's switch. So all I'm doing now, I just reverse it. So reverse it and trying to clean it in case there's spots that I haven't seen yet, you know? Just anything that you need to do. And if by any chance, by the way, so one way or the other, you end up with having knot slots that are slightly deeper than, just slightly, not too much though, slightly deeper than your actual fret wire, that's completely fine, because we're going to be flooding these fret slots with super glue anyways, right? And so because we're going to be doing that, that's really not that big of a deal. It's going to hold it just fine. And that tightness with the super glue, it's going to be good for your tone. And by tone, I mean the transfer of the vibration of the string onto the wood. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, this is good. This is clean. This one needed a bit more cleaning on this side. That's why it's always a good idea to do it on one side and then flip the neck and do it on the other. That was a good idea. There we go. Isn't that nice? Yeah, isn't that nice? I like it. So, let me just save this. I really want to save this and use it in the future. if by any chance something chips, I have now roasted maple in my arsenal to mix with super glue and then fix that chip. That little thing is gonna make your fretboard look good if it has chips on it. And we're gonna store it somewhere safe on the pocket of my guitar work bag. Alright, cool. So let's do another round of sanding quickly. I just want to do another round of sanding, just a little bit, just to make sure it's really nice. And then I'm gonna clean the slots again, and then we're gonna splash some water on it, shall we? Shalon says, does the back have lacquer? Yeah, it does, I think. It definitely does, because that's no top layer color. No, it does. As an exposed wood. Yeah, so the fretboard is exposed. The back, I think, has the actual neck has, yes. All right, so let's go. Same technique, right? Bottom to top, one motion from half in. There we go. And again, see how I'm not going there? I'm taking my body with it. And what that does, it helps me ensure a consistent pressure. Okay. Just a little. There we go. And I think we're good. So, here we go. Quickly clean the slots, and we're done. I think we'll do this, and then after this piece is over, I'll do the water splashing in the next stream. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. That'll be a good way to go. Go back in there, and I'll buy another pack of normal human being sandpaper. Yeah. For now, we'll just save it though. Yeah, I'll fix it later. Doesn't matter. All right, clean it up. Let's go. Quick. Do I use the? That, yeah, might as well just stay here too. Where's my paper? I'm gonna get some dust here again anyways. Might as well. Here we go. I love this tune. Check this out. Shalon says you might have removed lacquer from the fretboard. I don't think so, because when I was removing the frets, not much lacquer came with it, so I don't think it was lacquered. But you could be right. Doesn't really matter to be completely honest with you. You could have a point though. When usually what happens with fretboards that are lacquered, you'll see the impact of that when you remove the frets. When you heat up the frets and you remove them, you see some residue. There was no residue or anything of that nature there. So I don't think the fretboard was lacquered, but you could be right. Doesn't matter. None of my ebony fretboards or other fretboards are lacquered anyway, so I don't think. You know. And maple being a hard wood, I don't think. Cool. Here we go. Save this again for later. Where did it? I just kept it. Ah, there it is. God damn it, I've been looking for this inside the bag. Alright, so let's put this in here. And there we go. And this is the spot that I told you guys, like, you don't want to touch your face or your eyes right now, because all this wood dust is going to go into your pores. It's not a good idea. So, FYI. You got that going on there. Put the paper away. Put everything away. We don't need this anymore. And now, the last step for today's stream. Let's splash a little bit of damp. Let's put a little bit of water on this. Dampen a cloth bag and just put some water on it. And let it sit for like a minute. And what that does, it just brings the pointy bits of the wood grain out. And when you fine sand it, and this is going to be like a high grade, like, I don't know, 800. So really, really, really fine. 800 grit. And it's just going to make it like nice and smooth. So, this is my cloth. This is some water. There we go. Let it sit. All right, so, and then just rub it on. Just rub it on. Right? And just let it sit a little. So I'm just gonna dampen it again, just a little. Yeah, see that? Got its good old color back. Went to its former glory, kinda. So now all I want to do is just let it sit for, I don't know, 10 minutes? Nah, 1 minute. A little more. There we go. And the only reason we do this is just to make sure that the neck is really nice and smooth. So what this does, it just brings the parts of the grain pointed out, like points those stuff out, brings the grains out, and then you get to properly sand it. And then the neck becomes ultra smooth. There we go. So this is not a cleaning exercise per se, though it does help a little that way, huh? While this is drying out, I'm just gonna bring my fine sand pads. Just give me a second. What is this? Maybe 800, 1,500, no? $1,000? Let's try. It's ultra fine. So I should put these pads in the same as the other equipment, in the same location. So here we go. All right, so the wood is almost nice and dry. So what I'm gonna do now is to let it fully dry out. Oh my lord. And then shine it. Shine bright like a diamond. And then the craziest part about doing all this stuff at home like you don't have a workshop, you do this stuff at home, is that now you're gonna have to clean all that wood dust and solder and everything else. And I forgot to tin my solder before I mean, I don't think I need tinning. I was tinning it throughout. But yeah, it would have been nice if I tinned it. It doesn't matter. So, alright, this thing is dried out, which is good. So now I'm just gonna fine sand it. This is 1,000 grit. It's a 1,000 grit sandpaper pad, essentially. So I'm just gonna rub it, sand it. And so after splashing the water, if you do this, it's just sort of like fine sanding it. And if there's any unsmooth parts of the neck that are there, it helps to, you know, smoothen it out. And because it's ultra fine, like this is like 1,000 is really fine, right? It doesn't really hurt your neck or change the radius or anything of that nature. So you're good. Like you don't have to worry about, oh, am I gonna make my neck uneven now after all that hard work? No. Unless you do it for like an hour, then yes. Yeah, so that's that. Let's get something a little bit more fine still. So that was 1,000, and I just want to get something even more fine than that. 1,800, that'll do. And there's no need. I don't think anybody like really does it this way, but I just like to, you know, really do a proper thing in there. Here we go. Give me that. My lord. Here we are. How do you like that? How do you like that, YouTube? Isn't it nice? We like it. So, my cloth was a little damp. So let's just give this like 10 seconds to dry again. And then we'll go for something even finer. And this is the part, like, it comes, like, right now I'm on the stream, and even though I'm on the stream and I'm presenting, you know, like you guys are there watching, even then, there are times that I'm like, oh, God, I'm in a flow state right now, you know? Like, I'm really, really in a flow. And so when I do this stuff, like, work on my guitars at home, with nothing, like not on a stream, nothing, just me working on the stuff, you know, just makes me happy. Like it's just a flow thingy that I do. So there we go. So there we go. I think that's nice. This really feels nice and smooth. I like it. Gotta get one of those machines that does it for you, so you don't have to do it with hand. So here we go. So done with that, and that's it. I think we can just call this mission accomplished for today. And then in the next stream, I can bring the fret wires out and put the fret wires in and then see where we go with it. But it was a good experience. Like, again, like I said at the beginning of the stream and multiple times throughout, I'm not a guitar tech. I'm not a master luthier. I just like to do my guitar band-aid at home. So this was good. I think we're happy with where we are. So let me just condition this baby, and then we'll call it a day. Where's my conditioner? Give me my neck conditioner. I had it. That was the first thing I used today. I just don't know where I put it. Where's my put it back. There we go. Boom. There we go. Alright, guys, I think we're gonna leave it here. I think we achieved what we wanted to achieve today. That was a good fun. And you guys don't need to see me wipe the thing off from this thing. But with that said, y'all, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget, we've got our Saturday evening stream and we got our Friday evening stream. So if you guys are interested to come and hang out with me and we'll chill and have a good time. So Friday night stream is going to be same as this one. I'm going to be working on the guitar. The Friday night stream is our usual schedule where we go on and we talk about, guitars and guitar reviews on new guitars out there. So with that being said, y'all, thanks for hanging out. I will see you somewhere down the line. If you're joining me tonight, I'd love to see you. If you join me tonight and Saturday night, ooh, baby, I'll see you there. Take care of yourself. Happy Friday.